we can get started. Okay, can you see my screen? It's important that you should see my screen. Oh, okay, great. And let's go. Okay, so last tutorial we talked about if case. We talked about conditions, if else cases. We talked about switch cases in JavaScript, and I also told you to go over to freecodecamp.org to solve some of the problems in JavaScript that you have learned so far, and I'm guessing a couple of you guys did that. So today we are going to look at loops in general, JavaScript while loops and all the stuff. Okay, so let me pull up my Visual Studio Code that we use. We use Visual Studio Code for writing the code. We were using an online editor before, but we kind of, yeah, it's really slow, so we had to switch over to Visual Studio Code. All right. Okay, let me make sure that you can see my ID very clearly. Okay. Okay. So we can be on the same page. Can you see my Visual Studio Code clearly? All right. Yeah. Please, can you mute your mics? It's very important that you mute your mic, so we'll be on the same page. All right. Okay. Now, okay, so I've increased the font size of my ID so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and you can replicate that. Okay. Um. Okay. So let's go to while loops. Okay, and let's study this together, and we can get it. Okay, so while writing a program, you may encounter a situation where you need to perform an action over and over again. Now, there's a keyword here saying that over and over again, which means that if you want to do something like a repetition and you want to keep doing stuff, instead of writing that stuff multiple times, you could just write a simple code that will do that stuff. And okay, so when you want to perform an action, remember the keyword action, and something done or has to accomplish a purpose, a way of motion, an activity, so to say. In such situations, you will need to write loop statements. So when you are faced with a problem and you want to solve that problem, and you know that that thing that you want to do is going to be repeating over and over again, and then you need to do a loop statement to reduce the number of lines. Okay, so JavaScript supports all necessary loops to ease down the pressure of programming. So the first loops we are going to look is the while loop. Okay, this is the most basic loop in JavaScript, which will be discussed in this chapter, blah, blah, blah. The purpose of the while loop is to execute a statement or a block code repeatedly. Repeatedly means done several times or in repetition. So let's say you want to repeat stuff over and over again. You have to use while loop. Okay, as long as the expression is true. As long as, so when you want to use a while loop, you need to anchor it to an expression. So let's say that you want to say every Friday. Let me do something. Okay, so let's write a comment. Leave a comment. Let's sort of delete. You remember that you have to write everything you want to write inside the script tag. Okay, so let me write a comment here and let's talk about it. Let's say somebody is there. Let me make sure. So Keisha goes to a club every Friday. Okay, so how do you represent this guy in programming? You know that Keisha goes to club goes to church every Sunday. It means that on a day that is not a Sunday, Keisha won't go to church, right? Right. Yeah. I need you to follow me by using the comment box. Make sure you're following me. Okay. So on any day that that is not Sunday, Keisha does not go to church. So that's what the statement, that first statement means. So it means that Keisha doesn't go to church except on Sunday, right? Yeah. So you if you want to represent this in programming, you have to use something like a loop, because every Sunday means that it is repeating. So she will go this Sunday till the next Sunday, till the next Sunday, till the next Sunday. Okay. Now, also remember our definition of the while loop, that as long as the expression is true, as long as the one expression is true, it will keep repeating as long as that expression is true. So what it means that Keisha will only go to church on Sunday. As long as today is Sunday, Keisha must go to church. You understand now? So let's talk about the while loops. Let's see exactly what they are talking about. But this sort of give you an overview of the while loops actually. Okay, now let's see the flow chart. I know that a couple of you don't know what a flow chart is, but don't worry, you just look at it. Okay, so what it means is that while based on Kisha goes to church every Sunday, so let's sort of write that in our code. It will be like, while today is this condition, while today is Sunday, Kisha goes to church, basically. So if the condition is true, let's say, so if today is Sunday, it should do this code block. So if today is Sunday, it should do this code block, and it will go back and check if today is Sunday again. If today is Sunday, do this code block. It will go back and check if today is Sunday, do this code block. It will now check again. If today is not Sunday, then it will now do this one. That means that the condition is false. That means it will stop. It will stop at that point. Okay, so there is a syntax for it. While expression, while there's the syntax is while, then you do an expression, then the statement to be executed is true. So anything in this block will be executed as long as this expression is true. Now let's try an example to implement the loop. Okay. They wrote a var count. Let's implement that. Let me scroll this one to the top and we can see exactly what we are doing. So var count equals to 0. So we have initialized a let me now use the account var. So let's say let count equals to 0. So what they have done is that they have initialized the count to be 0. So you want to count something, you start from 0. In programming, you are starting from 0 and not 1. Okay. So document.write starting loop. So this is going to start the loop. It's going to tell us on the screen that this loop has started. Now let's write our while loop. While you'll be open a open or close whatever. So then you open a bracket and close it back. So you write the expression inside this bracket, and so according to them, while count is less than 10, what it means is that as long as this count is less than 10, what you should be doing is that document dot write current count. You should be printing this one on the screen. Current count. Current count. Ouch. Plus count. Don't worry, I will explain this. Plus then they put a breakpoint there. They put a break, except breakpoint. They put a break, HTML break. Okay. What he's saying is that while the count is less than 10, document.write document.write, it will print this one as a string, current count, then it will print this count. What is this inside this count? And it will print it. Okay, if we run this code, you will only see this starting loop because the count is 0, and because count is okay, you will see this one. You will see this one inside this block because the count is 0 and the count is less than 10 apparently. If I put 11 here, you will not see this guy because the current count is greater than 10. Now let's test our theory. We use the go live. We are using live server for to serve our HTML, and it's still serving. It's going to load. Is anybody writing? Okay, all right. It's still loading. I don't know what's wrong with our server. It might take a while, so what is wrong with my server? Oh, I think it is our loop. Our loop is trying to do this guy. So let's put 11 here. I think it will. Sorry. Let me try it again. Give me a minute and let's go live. Okay. It held our server. That's what is in when you are writing loops, you need to be very careful on what you're because it will keep doing this guy as long as this is true. And because we had 0 here, so he kept doing this, and the server couldn't return anything because it was just in a loop. If I didn't shut out the server, it would keep doing it till infinity. So it's very important that you know what you're doing. Okay, so What I'm going to add here, according to what they have, is that I'm going to say count plus plus. Okay, we have talked about this thing before in JavaScript. What it means is that it will increment this count. So um, count plus plus is the same thing as count equals to count. How am I writing count? Plus one. It means count equals to count plus one. So if I have 0 here, it will um if I have 0 here, it will come here, write document dot write. It will check is count less than 10. It will print this guy. Then it will come here and say 0 plus 1 equals to 1, and then assigning it to our count. Now our count is now 1. If you now do this guy again, is 1 less than 10. It will do document dot write. Because it is true, it will now say that 1 plus 1 equals to 2. The new count is 2. Our new count is 2 now. It will now come here again and say, is 2 less than 10? It will now do document dot write and do this one. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Our new count is 3. It will assign it back here. So you get the logic. So basically that's it. Okay. Um, Let me save. And then we have this on our screen. Now it's saying that starting current loop count. Um, Starting, this is it, starting loop that we have. Now it's saying that current loop, current count. So the first time it ran this loop, it printed 0 because this was our 0. So current count 0. This is what you have here. Then it went back and did, then it came here, it did 0 plus 1 equals to 1. Then it put 1 here. So now it checks again. Is 1 less than 10? It's true. Then it said current count. It assigned 1 here. That's why you are seeing this one. So it did that until it got to 9. So it couldn't do 10 because it's 10 less than 10, which is of course false. So that's why it now stopped the loop. So as long as your condition is as long as your condition is true, the while loop will keep doing, will keep going and going and going until it finds something that will make it false. It will not stop until something makes it false. Okay, do you understand? Are you on the same page with me so that I can continue? If you have questions, here's the best time to say it. Any questions? Please use the comments and let me know if you have questions. Please, 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 please. Nobody has questions. Yay. Is there only one person that is on this live stream? Okay. Joshua says, does while loop have a break? A while loop will only break until the condition is false. As long as the condition is true, the while loop will not stop. It will keep going, 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 going. So it's very people need to be very careful when they are using a while loop. A lot of people don't use while loop anyways. Yeah. So any more questions? No, nada. Okay. You said you will explain the comments in the yeah, of course I will do that. I will explain. Okay. Okay. So let's come. Okay. So basically, what we printed here, and okay. So let's go to another one. There's a do while loop. A do while loop. Okay. So it means the do while loop is similar to the while loop, except that the condition check happens at the end of the loop. Now, when we did while loop, it happens at the condition check happens at the beginning, at the beginning. But the do while loop happens at the end of the loop. We get what that means. So this means that the loop will always be executed at least once, even if the condition is false. Okay. So because the loop happens at the end and the statement will execute once, uh, before even if the condition is false. Okay, so let's check the do while loop. Okay, and let's modify our code. And okay, so we are going to say let's count equals to 0, starting loop. Let's put a break. It's an HTML break. It doesn't have anything to do with break. Okay, so let's do a do while. Um, so if you want to do a do while loop, you are going to do you're going to do. So you are going to do open bracket while this. Okay. Um. So in their example, they say y count is less than 5, and inside their own do, they wrote what we wrote here, and they have it here. So let's delete our while loop. Okay. So let me format it so you can see it very well. So let's count equals to 0. Document the try starting loops. Do this guy while count is less than 5. So before it checks this guy, it's going to do this one. So it's going to do document.write count equals to count plus 1. Then we now do while count is less than 5. It will now go back as long as this condition is not true. But the problem is that it's going to do this one. Okay, so let's run our code and see the output. Okay, so so now let's analyze that. The count equals to 0 is going to do document.write current count 0 because it's going to do this one first. Current count is 0. Then it did count plus 1. 0 plus 1 equals to 1. It assigned it back here. So that one, you now check, is 1 less than 5? Yeah. So it now went back and tried to do everything again. All right. That's do while loop. Okay, I thought somebody wants to talk to me. Okay, that's cool. So okay, that's the end of Solomon Grundy. Wow. Okay, so according to Kisha's question, I forgot what I wrote in the comments, but if you want to check, Kisha goes to church every Sunday. Okay, all for this you'd need to use something like a date or something, but we are not going to, that will look very cumbersome. Okay, so starting to um let me say in a document checking day and Kisha. So let's use our while loop. While let's say today is equals to 0, while today is less than 7. Let's say 7 is on Sunday. Okay, we are going to write to this one. Okay. Keisha wants to go to church because today is day. So, okay. So what I did is, let's say today is 0 and I'm going to Keisha goes to church every Sunday. So on the other days he won't go to church. So that's what I did. I said as long as today is not 7, that's Sunday, always be showing us that Keisha won't go to church today. Cause Keisha won't go to church because today is day something. So let's sort of run it. Checking day. Okay. Sorry, we did not initialize this. So because you need to start adding day, because by tomorrow you need to add one more day, so we need to check that. So checking day 0 while today is less than 7, you should do document.write. I don't know what is happening, so let me run that again. Go. Okay, something's wrong with our code now. And let's debug it together to see. Oh, you meant the statement.write, document.write? Document.write is just to show to your screen what to print something. So basically, I'm trying to run this guy. While today is less than 0, Keisha won't go to church today because today is the that's what's happening to our codes. Okay. Okay. So you see, Keisha won't go to church today because today is Monday. Keisha won't go to church today because today is Tuesday. Keisha won't go to church today because today is Wednesday. Keisha won't go to church today because today is Saturday. But on day 7, that's Sunday, Keisha will go to church. That's why it's not printing it. Are we on the same page? Do you need me to explain anything else? Are we good to go? I use the comments. Are we good to go? We're good to go. We're good to go. Okay. Okay. Movie is saying, is it necessary to add a break? No, it's not necessary. This break is just an HTML break. Is to break what we are displaying to another line. You can see checking day. If I didn't add this break, for example, if I don't add this break, it will just show everything on the same line. You can see. it will show it on the same line. But if I want it to go to another line, this break says let it display on another line. So that is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. um, okay. All right. I think we are fine. Um, can I give you? Can I give you a little test? Can you do a test? Should I delete this guy? Okay, so let me give you a little test, and you post it in the comment section. Um, send money. Uh, let's say you want to send um send money of every day except on Sunday. Okay. Send money every day except on Saturday. Okay. Um, and you sort of write this in a loop and in a while loop and see if you can do that. Let's see if anybody will get the answer. Um, um, can you, if you have an answer, please post it in the comment section. Just write something. I just want to see if you are following. So, okay. Does anybody have an answer yet? Anybody have an answer? Okay. Okay. Joshua says y today is now equals to 6. Okay. Okay. Because okay. Let's check the theory of Joshua and see if we are good to go. Trying to send money. So we want to show that the guy is trying to send money. Okay, so today, while today is not equals to 6, um, send money to James on, okay, send money to James on the whatever. Okay, let's test your theory. Okay. Okay. Send money to James on day 0, send money to James on day 1, send money to James on day 2, send money to James on day 3, send money to James on day 4, send money to James on day 5. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Because it's a loop, once it gets to Saturday, it will stop. So it will not bother doing on Sunday. So yeah, put that in mind about loops. It will stop, it will break, so it will not check because it's already false. It will break out of that loop. Put that in mind. Thank you, Joshua. That was a good one. Okay, and let's go to the next topic, and that is for loop. And this one is what programmers use a lot and can be tricky, and that's why they made it a topic on its own. All right. Um, we have less than 15 minutes to finish the stream. We finish by 7. Okay, so let's see what you can do. The for loop is the most compact form of looping. Story for the gods. It includes the following 3 parts. The loop initialization. That means you have to initialize the loop, where we initialize our counter. So a for loop has a counter, like something that will be counting numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to assign a starting value to your counter. So you can say your counter is 0. That means you are counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The initialization statement is executed before the loop begins. So you initialize your statement before the loop begins. Now the test statement is which we test if a given condition is true or not. So it will test a condition if it's true or not. If the condition is true, then the loop given inside the loop will be executed. Otherwise, the control will come out of the loop. It's looking familiar to the while loop. Don't worry. Then the iteration statement, where you can increase or decrease your counter, like we did in the while loop. It's the same, but don't worry. You can put all the 3 parts in a single line separated by semicolon. It means that this thing that you wrote here, you can use a for loop for it. That is what it means. You can use a for loop for it. Okay, so let's look at a flowchart. Um, so you come here. If you check the condition, if the condition is true, it will do the conditional code. It will come back again if it is true. When it is false, it will exit the loop. Now there's a syntax. For the initialization will come here, you will close it with a semicolon. You will put your test condition here, close it with a semicolon, then you will put your iterate statement here. Then the statement to be executed will be inside condition is true. Okay. Now our counter something that we wrote the other time. Let's see. Let's write. Okay. Let's sorry, I'm going to delete a whole lot of this. So let's count. We agreed not to be using var again. So let's count document dot write starting loops. It's going to get a break. And it doesn't know what this is. Okay. Now in the first statement, it has initialization. So you want to initialize your count. So when you initialize, that means you are assigning something to it. Now, where do you want the start to start from? Equals to 0. Now your condition, count is less than 10. It's a semicolon. Then your iteration, something that will be increasing it over and over. So once you check, it will increase it. Once you check, it will increase it again, as long as the condition is. So count plus plus. Remember that count plus plus is count equals to count plus 1. Now, okay, so now we are going to be printing this as long as the condition is right. Document that right, current count. So we are going to show the count. That's our number. We are going to do documents dot write. We're going to put your break. So after this thing, then we are going to do document dot write loop stopped. Okay, now we have this. Let me expand and let us do some small explaining. Okay, for loops has 3 parts. For loops has 3 parts: the initialization, the condition check, and then the iteration. So what it means is that we want to check, we want to be doing something as long as a condition is true. So you want to, like that Kisha goes to church every Sunday. Now, as long as that day is not Sunday, Kisha won't go to church. So you can express this in for loop also instead of the while loop that we use. That same thing we wrote in while loop, you can write it here. And you see for loops has less code, basically. All right. So we are going to declare a variable here called count. This is going to hold our initial value. So you are starting, you need to have a start point and where you are going. Let's say you want to print all the odd numbers between 0 and 10. So you have to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will need to count 1. You will check, is that 1 odd number? If it's not an odd number, move to 2. Is that an odd number? Move to 3. You understand? So you have to count and you have to start from somewhere. If you are not putting 0 in the consideration, you could start from 1 and then you will um you will start your initialization from there. So it depends on what you are trying to do. Okay, now what this means is that this is a count that is starting from 0. As long as the count is less than 10, do this one. So once this is false, it will increment this your count by 1. So it's going to do count plus plus. And also what it means is that it will keep, you can see that we did not assign a value to our count. What it means is that it will keep doing 0 plus 1. The new count is 1, 1 plus 1. The new count is 2, 2 plus 1. It will keep doing it. So it will now check, is the new count that I've done, is it less than 10? If it's less than 10, it will print this. If it's 10 or greater than 10, then it will stop. Then it will show loop stopped. Now let's run it. What's happening? Did we make any mistake? Starting loop for counts, document dot write, current count plus counts, count plus plus. Oh, we made a mistake. Remember to close it with a semicolon. Remember to close it with a semicolon here, semicolon here. So, okay. And so we have, so it shows counts 0, 1, 2, 3 till 9. And that is that for our for loop. Okay, we are done with for loop. All right. So if you have questions, let me know in the comment section. So if you have questions, do you understand? Let me start from there. Do you understand? And use the comment section if you do understand. Am I the only one on this call? Oh, okay. I thought I'm the only one on this call. Can I hear you would like to speak? Okay. Okay, so that is cool. That is cool. Nice. Okay, so for your assignments, go over to Free Code Camp. I know it's free. Oh yeah, you need to go to JavaScript, basic JavaScript. I'm looking for the for loop. You have done the if. Okay, so you can do the while loops, for loop, and for loop, for loop. You can do this for loop. Anywhere you are stuck, then you can stop there. You see, do while loop. There's a do while loop there. So you can, your knowledge here, you can test it. It's very good to test your knowledge. Very good to test your knowledge that you have learned. And okay, so go to freecodecamp.org and do these loops. And if you have chests, you can do the plenty things. Once you have learned it, you have learned it. Nobody can take it away from you. Okay. Calculus. You can't hear anything. How? It's been over 56 minutes of content to check your devices. Calculus. It must be your device. Ahmed, please, when do we do while over while loop? And you can use anyone you like. You can do, but remember that do while loop will first do the statement before it now checks if it's true or not. So the statement will run even if the condition is false. It will run once, even if its condition is false. So if you don't want your code to run before you check that condition, then you should use while loop, or you should just use a for loop. So is that clear? Yes, that clear. Very well. Okay. Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay. Okay. I like the way we are going with JavaScript, and before you know, we'll finish this, guys. We finish this, guys, and it's very important. JavaScript is a very bulky language, and you need to know the basics to be able to do stuff. Once you know the basics, you could just go over to a framework of your choice, and you can be building out beautiful stuff. It's very important. Okay. that will be all for today. Our time is 2 minutes to go. Thank you everyone for coming to this stream, coming to our JavaScript Saturdays. And I hope you have learned something today. Okay, so if you have not joined us before, um if you are not on our Telegram group, let me give you the Telegram link right now so that you will join our community. It is very important to join our community. We are a community of uh okay, so I've posted the link to the Telegram group. Please make sure to join. We churn out great content and we help each other. And if you need mentorship, we'll give you, and it's for free. So make sure you join. You don't have Telegram, Mary, download Telegram. It's so sweet. Better than WhatsApp. Yes. Yeah. It's better
I
than
don't, I don't even have WhatsApp.
oh, you don't have WhatsApp. Why? Uh
So first of all, I'm actually in the States. So, I mean, even though WhatsApp is actually popular here, I don't know if Telegram is popular here or not, and
oh
but really the real reason is my phone is old. So I have a really old phone.
oh sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We'll post more meetups, meetings, on Meetup, so you'll be able to RSVP there as well. And okay, so we'll reach you on Meetup as well. And for any of our meetings in futures, we just create an event on Meetup as well. Um, but if you have Telegram, I bet you it's a very great community, and we help you with your code as well. If you have issues writing code, if you're a beginner, you're assigned to a mentor, and that's great. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for today. Watch out for next week. We post a link to our JavaScript class. We will use this link basically. So meet you by next week Saturday, same time. Bye everyone. Bye.
The next